What About Us? This is the title of a new movie produced by Emmanuel Iren, the founder of Celebration Church International. And the movie was directed by the outstanding Kayode Kasam. This movie features some big name actors like Uzo Arukwe, Kunle Remi, Seyi Awolowo, Folu Storms, and Atlanta Bridget Johnson. In this movie, the marital problems between a married couple, Jaiye and Zainab, push Zainab into yielding to the temptation posed by new neighbor Daniel, who is single but engaged. So everything in the movie revolves, around this. So what's special about this movie? Let's find out. Number one, interesting casting and acting. Now, kudos to the director. The key roles were given to actors who can actually act. The actors looked suitable for the roles they played. Kunle Remi, for example, is a very good actor. And then in this movie, he plays his role to perfection. He's also very suitable for the role he plays. I mean, he's handsome. He's a great chef, great at conversations. In fact, the perfect temptation for a married woman and a work-from-home mother of one whose husband had become emotionally distant and mostly physically unavailable. You see, the sexual tension created by Zainab and Daniel was so palpable that, God forgive me, I was looking forward to seeing them do something. Stop acting. By the way, Folu Storms acting as Zainab and Uzo Arukwe acting as Jaiye were perfect as well. Now, number two, I love well-written stories, and the story in this movie is beautiful to say the least. It's one of those simple stories that impress you with simplicity and even near perfection. No unnecessary twists, no damaging flaws, and of course, very realistic conversations. I love the implied messages in the conversations. For instance, after a bad investment, Zainab's husband confided in Zainab's best friend, and both of them kept, whatever it was, away from Zainab. Zainab was understandably very angry afterwards and told her friend, in quote, "I don't need you to be his champion. That's my job." This is a very strong message for married people who have opposite sex besties and confide in those besties more than they do in their spouses. Kudos to the writer. Number three, attention to details. And again, this is hugely down to the script being good. Attention was paid to things that are commonly overlooked in movies. When Daniel visits Zainab, for example, the second time during the day and comes with his work laptop, I thought there had to be justification for that, and there was. Daniel's router was malfunctioning, so it explains why he had to come to Zainab's place to work. It could have been a lie, but there needed to be that justification. Also, when Daniel and Zainab got too close, I was wondering what's up with Daniel's remote job and Zainab's dropshipping business. Again, these were sorted out. Even while in the kitchen with Zainab or in the pastry shop, Daniel was occasionally on his laptop concluding a virtual meeting or another thing. And Zainab was also occasionally seen working on her laptop. Now, as much as this movie is fantastic, I think there are areas I have little issues with. Number one, I think Daniel's fiancée, Jessica, should have featured more. We should have seen more of her relationship with Daniel rather than just assess the relationship based on what Daniel told Zainab. I mean, Daniel is what I'd describe as the unreliable narrator. Given that he was attracted to Zainab, he could say anything about his fiancée just to look good in Zainab's eyes. So I think we should have seen enough of the relationship from the perspective of what happens between them, what we see happen between them, rather than what Daniel says about them. Also, I think Zainab's son simply existed in the movie without being heard or felt. I was thinking there should have been more about, his relationship with the mother and the father, maybe them playing, hanging out, and doing things together. Maybe it would have brought a richer perspective to the family problems or the potential relationship the mother was going to have with Daniel. And that number two, I don't think it was too realistic that almost immediately after confronting his wife and Daniel over their budding affair and hearing Daniel call his wife babe, Jaiye was suddenly explaining to his wife what made him seem so distant. He suddenly turned from being the beg, to being the beggar. You see, infidelity is so huge that I think maybe Jaiye's anger should have lasted longer, maybe a few days, before he would come around to even want to listen to Zainab, his wife. This point is arguable though, and for that, I look forward to reading in the comment section what you think about this. Overall, this is a solid movie which I rate 8.5 over 10. 8.5 over 10. If this is your first time on this channel, don't leave without subscribing so you get to watch more videos like this.